Okay, first on the agenda, we have Jennifer, Coroner, has items like to purchase.
Okay, I was in touch with Amanda, the striker rep, regarding the power cot and the power load system. We actually do not have to pay any shipping on it, so it's just the $36,000. So she just sent me an email saying no shipping. That was just for brand new.
Okay.
The other thing, we are actually getting a brand new cot at a used price because they ordered an extra one and they can't put it back into sale as a new one. So it's good timing.
See, yeah, it's better news than what you could even hope for.
Yes, it is. So, and I have two or three people that are going to help install it.
And I think before we had mentioned about paying for that out of the ARP money. So we need a motion to approve that $36,000 for the striker cart, purchased through the ARP funds. I would make that motion.
Okay, I'll second it.
Any other discussion? You mentioned turnaround time.
She talked like she could have it here next week. We'll just have to work around the holiday this week, so the earliest next week.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Guess I should have mentioned that Mike is not with us this evening. He's on the East Coast. As far as the vehicle, we're still searching.
Still searching, yep.
Yeah, try and find something. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And Brandon is next on the agenda, but he had given me a call. He is out at an accident. So basically his request is for 3 radios. And the reason he brings it to us is that it's beyond his expenditure limit without board approval. And so we will come back to this in case Brandon shows up. Probably go ahead and approve it at that time, but we'll just pause on that one. Nathan?
Good evening. Couple of matters pertaining to the courthouse for you. First, on behalf of the Secretary of the Pulaski County Courthouse Building Corporation Board of Directors, I present to you a resolution and a letter accompanying that resolution, designating me as an authorized representative of the building corporation and asking the commissioners by voice vote to affirm and accept this resolution and authorize President Mellon to sign a letter to the First National Bank of Monterey to this effect. The purpose of this is so that I am able to submit disbursement requests to the bank to get the county's local income tax economic development fund reimbursed and the first set of outstanding invoices to be paid directly by bond proceeds approved, as well as doing that as needed until we have expended that tranche and move on to the funds held directly by the county. Fund 1112 will be reimbursed a little more than $1.35 million, while outstanding invoices that will also be submitted are in the vicinity of $100,000. And if you would like, I think you should have a copy. Actually, here is the version with their signatures on it. So you see everything is good to go. But you just need to vote to accept and affirm the resolution of the Board of Directors.
Okay, we need a motion to affirm that resolution.
So moved.
I'll second that. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 And then a couple of quick updates for you. Demolition and deconstruction work has continued, and slight change to what I have in my written report. The earthwork, site utilities, and masonry subcontractors both mobilized and started their work today. If you happen to drive downtown after this meeting, you will see a lot of dirt piled up along the east side of the south wall, the entire east wall, and the entire north wall of the property. So they have been very busy. It looks like they also started doing a little bit of excavation work near the building itself, where the earth will have to be pulled back so that waterproofing work can be done. In general, things are moving smoothly, but we've been dealing with 2 headaches over the last week, neither of which is especially surprising. Per the official bid results, the entirety of the perimeter retaining wall was to be removed, with the lawn to be graded down to the sidewalk on all sides. The add alternate bid for reinstalling part of it was not submitted. Over the last week, we spent a significant amount of time in person, via email, and on the phone, reviewing the options for balancing the preference to retain as much of it as possible, the logistical challenges of transporting and storing it, the effects on the masonry schedule of any deviation from the planned course of action, and the costs associated with different options for either keeping it in place or removing and returning it. Where we have landed is to remove the wall in its entirety as originally planned, to store approximately 350 linear feet, just more than half of it, along with all of the corner pieces, to dispose one way or another of the remaining 335 or so linear feet, and to revisit the possibility of installing some or all of the stored sections toward the end of the project, when we'll have a better sense of what funds remain between any unexpended contingency, the buyer's premium that we received, and any interest that we have generated on the funds that we have invested. So that is where things stand with the wall right now. I've been working with both Mr. Kruger and Mr. Kegereis, and they are going to be on site meeting with us first thing tomorrow morning to work out some of these logistics, to figure out the least burdensome way to get this moved. If necessary, the masonry contractors also have the capability of moving the wall off site for us. It's just going to be a matter of how much flexibility Gary has to get his trailer in and out of downtown. Any questions on that part?
Is this considered a change order
No.
by any means?
Nope, all we are doing, the original said, pull it out and give it to the owner, and that was, so we are following that. We are just hoping that we will have the funds to justify a change order to put some of it back in place at the end of the project. But none of the options that we tossed around over the last week really put us in a comfortable position this early in the project. But fortunately, the finished grading of the site, planting of the grass, etc., is one of the last things on the project schedule, so we'll be able to call that audible as needed. I am open from any of you, from the public, from anybody, any solutions for the sections we're not saving that don't involve trashing it. We would really prefer not to do that, but we are pretty limited on space to store the stuff we're hoping to put back, let alone another 335 feet. I'm at the point where I would just as assume set it out on the sidewalk, and if somebody wants to throw it in the bed of a pickup truck and have a memento, but I would hate for it to see it be crushed up or put in the dumpster, especially because the dumpster will require incurring additional cost. But like I said, between the 2 sites we're potentially storing, as big as this highway property is, Gary's not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes when he says there's not a lot of accessible room between travel paths, buildings, vehicles, stone piles, low spots that have water standing, etc. So we are trying to be as time and fiscally responsible as possible. But if there is a good answer that avoids putting them in the dumpster, I am more than happy to hear it.
Maurice probably has some spots to fill in out there on the farm.
All right, and then the other issue has been with the slab in the property, in the building. Originally, Luminant had specified the removal of the entire slab and pouring a new one over a vapor barrier. As part of the value engineering exercises to get the project under budget, we decided that we would remove as needed, either because plumbing is being installed or because the slab just simply needs to be removed. And we would use a vapor locking solution on top instead of the E.M.S below. We have found that more of the slab than we assumed is probably in need of removal, and we have already removed some. We've had issues because there was no vapor barrier originally poured. There are places where you can see it crumbling from the bottom up, and so it is thinner than it should be. There are places where the techniques they used for pouring the concrete at the time includes wooden sleepers between sections that had their benefit, but also create more moisture issues. We are not yet at the point of concluding that the full slab needs to be removed. John Allen, our lead architect, and I are all sort of leaning toward that, but John's boss back at the office is not convinced, and he will be on site on Wednesday with Ton and Blank's concrete specialist to get his position on it before we make any decisions. Any questions on my report or anything else that I haven't covered?
So is the steering committee still intact?
Yes, they. I brought them in for the conversation about the retaining wall last week. We didn't get a consensus.
Anything else, Nathan?
All right, thank you.
Is Dan with us? Dan?
Hi, my name is Dan Muehlhausen, and I live in Legion Road over there in Monterey, and it's a public road, what it was, always from 1956. I have documentation. It was a public road. In 1997-98, Art Sutton was putting in the 911 system, and he went down there trying to find out who lived where, because there was no addresses. It was lot numbers. And then your mail went to the post office, and you had a post office box. He had to make addresses for everyone. So he did. He sat in he went along there. He didn't know who lived there. He had my father in a car with him. They went to each house. Who lives here? Okay, this is going to be address such and such, and so on and so on. They did the whole thing like that. Then, on the computer or whatever they used at that time, it came to find out that the numbers wouldn't work because of the east and west and the way the road just whipped around, you know, however. So Art said, I know how to fix that. I'm going to make it a private road, which he did. Didn't ask nobody, just sent out letters to everybody. Here's your new address. Change the name of the road. The out by the main road, there was a little sign said 725 North. He took stickers and put them on there. PR. Okay, that was fine. He worked for the county. They still maintained the road. They did whatever. Okay, that was great. Now all of a sudden comes around, I don't know, about 5 years ago, 2019, 2000, somebody came down there. They quit, the county was maintaining their road, which was a private road. And I'm sure this has happened to more places than I know about, that's for sure. And some gentleman said something to the county. How come you're maintaining that road? It's a private road. Because there's a PR on there. And the county says, oh yeah, that is a private road. We're not going to maintain it anymore. Well, I understand that. But see, when Art did it, it was a different time. he put PR on there and it didn't really mean anything as far as losing maintenance. But now, different age. Everybody's worrying about everybody else. And I understand that. It's a different world. But it is not, has never been a private road other than to make it easier for Art Sutton, a good man, to get his job done. He was the guy appointed to fix the 911 system. I don't know, everywhere, I guess, Monterey, I don't know, maybe everywhere. And now, after a few years ago, when somebody complained, the county quit coming down the road. There were minimal maintenance anyways, but that was fine. And then I took care of what I could with my little tractor, but that don't work no more. And they came down with the blade, and once in a while we got a couple loads of stone, and that was good enough. Everybody was happy. Not everybody lives there, so whatever. But now it's through time with nothing, it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And so I'm here saying the county needs to take care of their road because it's not a private road. I can give you Art Sutton's letter where he's changed everybody's address. I can give you the survey stamped by the county that says it's a public road.
What's the date of that?
And I can give you, unfortunately, and I don't mean to make it sound funny, I was told by somebody that Art Sutton worked for Monterey and not for the county. I don't know who knows that that's, you know, he worked for the county. And I have his, what do you call it? Death certificate, or not, from the, when he died, says what he did, you know, for an income, you know, for, that he did. He was congratulated for doing the 911 system. Did a fine job. But that was 98 when you could do that. So that's my story.
So we plan on having Kevin speak to this a little bit. Kevin's our attorney.
Well, it's a little different issue than what I was told. I would, if there, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I said it's a little different issue than what I was told. Are these copies you have?
Well, this is from Art.
Are these your copies, or do you have copies of these things?
These are, if you want these, you can have them, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
This was, I got this a while back. It's stamped by the county.
Is this your phone number?
I don't know what that was on there.
All right, well, put your name and number on there and leave this stuff with me, and I'll, the only issue is whether it's if it's a county road, a public road, or if it's a private road.
Right, and it's,
And if-
just,
I'll look at the survey. I'll talk to Gary. I don't know if Gary, if you've looked into this yet or need to talk about it or not.
a couple years ago, I had talked to him.
Do you know if it's in your system or not? All right. All right, if it's not, if it's, so they have a system that they report to NDOT, and their road, determining on the amount of roads that are in our system, they get paid out of
Right,
gas
so it's
tax.
beneficial to have more roads,
Well, but it's not that,
especially when this particular road is very minor maintenance.
well, it's not,
I don't want I-80 in
that's a
there.
different issue.
Right.
Either, you presented the issue as if you're saying you have proof that this is a county road. Highway Department's saying that's not the case.
Well, to them, they don't believe it is. I understand that because their guy, however you want to say it,
Right.
made it into a private road
Well, I don't
25 years ago.
I don't know that that's the case. I mean, I don't.
You do, right here.
Okay, he didn't have that authority. Art Sutton did not have that authority.
It says
Um,
on his, I mean,
yeah,
I know he didn't have the authority to do what he did, but he was appointed, and accommodated.
Anyway, nowhere in this letter does it say we're making your road a private road. Is it?
No, he tells you what your new address is.
Okay,
Yeah.
that doesn't, I mean, he was simply advising you, you live on a private lane.
What he changed the road to, private.
No.
Well, I don't know what role Art Sutton had, but you would have no authority to change a road from a.
Exactly,
but-
exactly.
What I'm saying is
he
he's,
did.
No, he didn't hear.
no, what he's telling you is you live on a private lane. That's what he was advising you of. And that's your address is a private lane.
No, he made.
All right.
Okay.
There's a process
Okay,
by
we're-
which you can
Okay,
petition.
I know there is. That's my whole point.
Okay.
He can't make it into a private
Okay, but
road,
there-
What he did.
I think we
Yeah.
need to, let Kevin
Table
check
this.
this information. And then Gary can, give his proof that it is according to the state
Just write your
never
information
been
on one of these
a-
pages.
county road because we would have been getting paid for it
I'm
and
not
so
gonna
on.
go over it right now.
Okay, I
So-
understand.
Yeah, so you brought new information here that we didn't get emails of that. Okay,
Right.
there's new information
I
that's
know,
been
I-
presented.
Just write your
Tonight.
name and number somewhere and just
And-
leave it.
What Art Sutton did was, put 911s. I have a lot of private lanes. Okay, he was given 911 addresses to every house. Okay, he did not change. He did not have that authority and he did not do any of that, but we're not going to argue that. We'll look at that and get back with you.
All right.
There you
Got a
go.
better pen.
And it is helpful to have all information emailed to the auditor ahead of time when you get on the agenda. When new information comes, it's hard for us to look at it and make a
Yeah, I
decision.
understand that. Well,
All right.
I've never done anything like this before, and I went to the
Yeah.
educate, whatever, where I was told to go, and wrote what I was told to write.
Okay, gotcha.
You know,
That's okay.
I went through the motions.
All right,
That's
fair
okay.
enough. We'll get an answer for you. You gonna leave that with me?
You want this?
Yeah. I want
Yeah.
whatever evidence you
You
have.
want,
I want whatever evidence you have.
Yeah, all the evidence you have, please.
I don't want to go over it with you, just,
no,
I'll
I
look at
just
it.
want to explain, this is a smaller version of this. 'cause
Okay.
Over here on this copy,
All right,
it was kind of
that's
hard to
fine.
read.
I just need one copy.
This is what I got.
Right.
And then this, on here, it tells that he was, in charge of the
Okay,
911.
all right. And we're barking up the wrong tree a little bit, but that's all right. We'll get to it.
All righty.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Well, that's it.
Thank you.
for
We'll get
that.
back with you.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get with you.
Okay.
Other business, we have the claims and payroll number 13.
Okay, I have reviewed payroll number 13 and I've looked at the claims and I make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second. Other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Also on the agenda is regular minutes for June 17th.
Okay, I've reviewed those minutes of that meeting and I make a motion to approve as written.
I will second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Or did we need to approve the June 3rd or we just?
I think we need to approve them because apparently I just forgot to send them out in this meeting.
Okay.
I forget to put it on the agenda.
We will also entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the June 3rd.
Yes,
meeting.
I have reviewed the June 3rd minutes and I make a motion to approve the June 3rd meeting minutes as written.
And I will second that. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And each year we have to certify the covered bridges that are in the county. Basically, we have 0 covered bridges, but yet it's a state requirement. We would need to approve the certification for covered bridges for 2024.
Okay, so I would make a motion to approve the certification for all covered bridges in the county.
I will second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, then we have conference requests, one for Holly I.V.R.A. and 3 deputies. So the Assessors Conference will take place August 26th through the 30th in Fort Wayne.
Okay, I would make a motion to approve all of those conference requests.
Maurice,
Yeah.
I actually would like to rescind my conference request. I decided that that's not one that's worth my time to attend.
Oh, okay.
I will cross that one off.
Yeah, we'll cross that one off. And yeah, thanks, Nathan.
A.J. Goodwine, who is a council elect, went to the council meeting. And so I wanted to approve for his conference fees. Yes, which was $90 for the conference, and then it's one overnight, Friday night. It was just a one-day on Saturday.
We will
Okay, so
just,
we're only, the motion I made was only on the assessors and the
Okay.
3, and we'll get to the rest of them.
Okay,
So,
I second that. So all in favor of approving the Assessor's Office conferences? Say aye.
aye.
Then we have the Health Department. Belinda to attend the I.V.R.A. Fall Conference, October 10th through the 11th in Angola.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the Health Department's conference request.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Then I would make a motion to approve the conference that A.J. Gutwein attended for conference fee and the one overnight stay.
Okay, I second that.
Favor, say aye.
Aye.
We had one other order of business, the appointment of Melvin David Myers to the Francesville Zoning Planning Commission for 3.5 years. This is due to Robert Woods having some health issues and has resigned from that board.
Okay, so I would make a motion to approve Melvin Myers to the Francesville Zoning and Planning Commission.
I will second that. Favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then let's go back to Brandon's. Brandon is seeking the purchase of radios and extended past his legal amount that he can spend without coming to the commissioners. Said was out on a call. So get to his quote page. This is for 3 radios, well as programming of them and so on. Quite a list of things here. It's for $13,404 and 54 cents.
Okay, so I would make a motion to approve the purchase of those radios.
He did say he did have the money in the budget. It's not additional funding, it's just going beyond his required limits. So I would second that. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anything else, Maurice?
I do not.
Kevin, you have anything?
No.
And Laura did comment here. I guess this one here is a little duck. But these things are being found all over town, all over close to their annex building.
Are they not being left at the highway? Small little trinket type.
But small kids could pick these up and put them in their mouth, so on. So we don't know where they're coming from. We have some cameras that might pick it up. You want this as a sample, Chris?
First I've seen of it.
Yeah. So in the community, just beware of this.
You know, where our capital located, we start looking to see who's leaving. What area? Yeah, let me.
But nothing. Okay. Have any community comments? Yes.
Thank you. It's come to my attention that the room where the servers are overheated the other day, and I understand there's still some investigation going on. But I would encourage you to make plans to put a backup HVAC in that room and also put something that will warn you if it's overheating. I don't know whether there's water or, near where it could flood it or not, but maybe that if there is, that might be something to put in for a warning system too. Overheating that computer compromised its future reliability. It may be fine now, but computers don't like heat.
Right.
So I encourage you to take that into consideration. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Motion to adjourn.
If no other public comment, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.